Hello there. This is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. People will project their personality on a handsome man. Yeah. You know what's interesting? And this is actually bigger than just handsome men. And people project personalities onto anyone. But a lot of guys who consider themselves handsome, they want game. So people will project a personality onto a handsome man. I've talked about this before, but it's something that keeps coming up. Like comments from handsome men keep asking about this or saying something. Like, you know, the whole thing, they'll see a handsome man and assume he's conceited or he has a certain personality. They'll assume he's arrogant or something like that. And, you know, it's a problem. It's a problem. And they'll assume it because, you know, in the last episode, I talked about posture and everything. Particularly, you know, they checking out a man's posture, but they still checking out his looks too. And they going to say, oh, he's handsome. He must have like 15 girlfriends. He's handsome. He must have several baby mamas. He's handsome. He must be a player and all of that. And then they also projecting some other stuff. They're thinking, well, he's going to be this way. Oh, he wouldn't be helpful or something like that. Right? And I'm just like, no, seriously, because they try to get an idea and, you know, they can sometimes if, you know, they're watching how you move or something, they can get a general idea. But when it's just something just as simple as your bone structure, they really don't know. They don't know. They don't know for sure until they talk with you. But it can be an annoyance. And here's where the problem is. You just a regular guy. Especially for the handsome fellas out there. You just a regular guy though. Yeah, you handsome, you got good bone structure, probably fix yourself up and everything. But at the end of the day, you just a dude out here trying to do your stuff. I mean, you know, you just living your life. You on your mission and everything. But then you might meet a woman, or really it could be anyone. And they what they're going to do, they're going to respond to you based on it. You know? Like you get a woman, you know, you might say you actually approach a woman or something. She already assuming that you're a player because she said, well, he handsome. What do you want with me? All of a sudden they go into their own play mode and doing some stuff. And it's a lot of wasted time. You get a lot. This happens with a lot of guys, especially, you know, you look like something. You know, they start responding because they're not responding to what you actually present. They responding to the personality in their minds about you. Like, let me give y'all some real game about women. As soon as they see a man, their imagination's going to gear. Their imaginations, they're already imagining everything about you. Indeed, that's why you have some women. They'll meet a guy and the guy ain't necessarily handsome or he might be quiet and they make assumptions about him, but if they're in a position to get to know him, they were like, well, I thought this about you at first, but then I was around you and I saw this. And it happens a lot. Now, how people respond to that, how a man responds, that's up to him. But it happens. But they based it on what? Just a look. Just a look. You know, because what's always said, women decide in 3 seconds. And, you know, they can read a lot, but let's just be real. Sometimes they can miss the ball completely. Sometimes it happens because like in my book, Starting from Zero. And like I say, people do this in general, but I had there was a character in there, Brief, who was like a big dude sitting in, he at this party, all he's doing is eating some buffalo wings. It was actually based on a true incident. It was a party I gave like way back in the 80s. Yeah, Rom gave parties too. Yeah, I had 1,000 jobs. I might have some Jamaican in me. So the thing was, this dude was a big old dude. He was just eating up all our buffalo wings, and I had to hit him up. I was like, dude, can you leave something for the rest of us? Big 6'5" dude, hominy-grit eating dude. One of those dudes who eat cereal with a big old bowl and a ladle. But in my book, Starting from Zero, which is a work of fiction, you know, fictionalized it, but I had the character like come off with some real intellectual stuff. Because sometimes you might see some guys like that. In fact, you know, you might look at them and think, oh, they ain't that smart. They don't look all that smart. Then they hit you with some deep stuff. Like I've talked about the time I had to do a presentation, a seminar for some true to the game thugs. Like the judge ordered them to be there, like ordered them, said, no, you gotta show up to that. All right. Now I'm thinking whatever, but that was one of the deepest seminars ever. They basically told me without even knowing what was in my book, they told me what was in my book. And they went deeper. I never forget one of them said, Sess of 9. He kept saying, man, you know about Sess of 9? I was like, Sess of 9. Sess of 9. That's how he said it too. Sess of 9. You know, from the Tao sexology. I was like, oh. But if you look at the dude, you'd be like, huh? You know? So basically people do that with a handsome man. They feeling like, well, he wouldn't know about this, or he's not that smart. Like you got a lot of dudes who might be handsome, consensusly handsome, but they're also intellectuals. How often has that happened? Seriously, for the handsome men out there, you did well on that IQ test. You got like 120 or something on that IQ test. How many times has somebody thought you were dumb just because you were handsome? They projected that personality. And it's an unfortunate thing. That's why, and I've told women this though, specifically. I say, get to know that man. Yeah, they do be making that decision in 3 seconds, but I've told women straight up. I was like, hey, at least talk to that man first. He might have something. He might not look like what you want on the surface, but do that. Now I've told women that, but most of the women on the planet haven't heard it yet. So most of them going to project it. They're going to project a player. He ain't that smart, or he's conceited. I know this one guy. He told me people thought he was lazy because he basically looked like a fashion model. But he was like a hard-working, get things dirty, get his hands dirty type of dude. In fact, I knew this, I remember this dude in high school too. This dude in high school. Like, he was like one of those pretty boys that even heterosexual men had to say was a pretty boy. And he was actually dating, a celebrity. He was actually dating, I ain't gonna call the celebrity's name, I'll just say she was local to the DC area back in the day. This is back in the 80s and stuff. She's in her 50s now, but he was dating her and stuff. Everybody knew it. He had that total pretty boy thing going on and stuff. And guys thought, oh, he's soft and everything. I remember a group of us played some tackle football without pads. Man, that dude could hit. That dude could hit. He wasn't even like that big a dude, but he could hit and stuff. And my point with that is nobody really knows. I tell women that, but they still make their judgment and everything. They project a personality. I would say this for the handsome men out there. It's going to happen. Don't get mad. It's going to happen. You just do your thing anyway. Like, you know what? Here's something I used to hit women with. I would tell them straight up, no matter what they said. I say, okay, I tell you what. I ain't trying to get with you right away. Why don't you take a month and decide, just sit back and check me out, ask around about me, decide if I'm what you want. And I know some dudes be like, man, you better get her quick. Man, when you have an abundance, especially when I was younger, I had an abundance. I had so many options. I was just like, no, why rush? Take your time. Because I already knew they were making assumptions anyway, because they just saw the outside. So I said, okay, you take your time. But if for the fellas out there, the handsome men out there, it happens. Don't get mad. It's just human nature. You just focus on you doing your best thing. And if the woman finds out or something, fine. If she don't, but whatever you do, don't try to force it. Just be you. Just be you. She either like you for you or what you got to offer, boom. Now, if she that type of woman make that quick decision or something and think, oh yeah, he can see that, he all that, you don't really need her anyway. A sensible woman is at least going to say, all right, he look good, let me find out what's up. I don't know if he's a player or anything. The sensible ones. So anyway, that's all I got for now, y'all. Something to think about. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.